I'm G. And welcome to Fiji. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and ding the bell so you'll know when we post videos.
Exactly. Alright, so today's video we are going to talk about
our coming out story.
Yes. We have been wanting to make this video for a really long time, and I was like, no, I want to wait till Pride Month to make it. So we are finally here. Me first? You first?
No, you go first.
Okay. Alright, so I'll go first. So my coming out story, I know a lot of people who had a hard time with when they came out. For me, it wasn't necessarily hard. So a little backstory. So I went to a performing arts school. It was almost like Glee, like in High School Musical. If you can imagine that, that's pretty much what my 6th through 12th grade looked like. Very free, no judgment.
So jealous of that. So
there was no judgment or anything, but I didn't actually come out until my 11th grade year in high school. I always knew that I was gay at a very early age. I think I really understood, probably at the age of like 5, I didn't understand it, but I knew that I didn't want what everybody else wanted. Like, I didn't want to be mom in the house. Like, I wanted to be dad. Like, I wanted to take on a more masculine role in life, and I didn't really want a boyfriend. I didn't want, like, a husband. I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'd be husband. But at that age, you really don't know what it's called. You just kind of know. And then as I got older, I started to understand, like, okay, I think I just don't like guys. So I came out my 11th grade year, and I had been talking to, it's funny. So my mom, it's kind of weird, right? So my mom's ex-boyfriend, his niece, we actually knew each other when we were younger. And then once my mom and her boyfriend broke up, we kind of like didn't see each other for a very long time. And then we happened to come back together later on, I think around my 10th grade year.
Did she go to your school?
No, so her sister actually went to my school. Her sister and I graduated together. So we kind of like came back together then. We started talking, but it was like on the low. Like, because her sister was really close to me, and it was a really awkward situation for me because I didn't really know.
I'm gonna stop you. So just so we understand clearly, you started talking to your mom's ex-boyfriend's niece.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't understand that part.
Yes, it was his niece. But I was really close to her stepsister. So it was weird because I hadn't officially came out. Like, I never had boyfriends in high school. I had crushes. I mean, I think I just had crushes because I thought that's what I was supposed to have anyway. So it's like, okay, let me like pretend I like this boy. But it never really got very far. It was never like any sex happening. Like, never had sex with a boy. I had, I guess, society crushes because I thought that's what I was supposed to have. But once we started dating, or once we started talking, everything just seemed really natural. She hadn't come out really yet, but she was more tomboyish. But she had never really came out either. So we started talking just on the low. We didn't really tell anybody. We kept it a secret for a while, the summer of my sophomore year. And then when I got into high school, I was like, you know what, like, I had a lot of gay friends. I had a lot of people who had already come out, and I was like, I'm not supposed to pretend anymore. So this is back big this was back when MySpace was big.
Oh, MySpace.
Yeah, back when MySpace was big. So I was like, you know what, like, I was ready to come out. I was ready for everybody to kind of know, like, we were together. She was fine with it. So I ended up posting a picture of her and I kissing on my MySpace. And that was kind of like my way to be like, you know what, here I am, like, this is it. And I got some interesting feedback. I remember my brother, like, why did you post that picture? Like, what are you doing? He was really, I don't know if he was more so angry that I just posted it without telling him, or if he was actually angry at the fact that I was like kissing a girl on the internet. But he definitely snitched on me. He told.
Let me guess, that was Isaiah.
Yep, that was Isaiah. He definitely snitched on me. And pretty much told everybody. But I mean, at that point, I had gotten to a point where I was like, you know what, like, it is what it is. So we were officially like together. We were out. My mom had a really hard time with it. She went through this like, oh my God, did anything happen to you when you were little? I don't know why parents always want to like find a reason as to why you're not who society expects you to be. Like she struggled. She's like, did somebody touch you when you were little? Like, did I let something happen to you? You know, she kind of went on to down this long, drawn out.
I don't know why they always assume.
Yeah, like something happened to me. Like, no, nobody touched me or molested me or anything like that. I just don't like dudes. So she kind of like, she struggled with it for a long time. Cause she grew up in a Christian household. She has a Christian-based belief. So for her, it was kind of awkward. My dad, he hated it. He hated me hanging around my tomboy friends. He hated the idea of me being a lesbian. He didn't understand it. Like, no, you can't hang out with these girls. They're influencing you. And it's always someone else. It can never be, for your parents. It's never you making your decision. It's always you influenced by somebody else, which is
by something
else. But I held strong. Like I severed ties. Like my mom didn't really want to face the music for a while, so we kind of like fell out. And it was a part of my process. It was a part of me just taking accountability for myself and saying like, I am who I am, and if you're not going to accept it, then too bad for you. You're gonna have to either.
And how old were you?
This was my 11th grade year, so I don't know how old you are. 17.
About either 16 or 17.
Yeah, is when I actually just like let it loose. And from there, like it's so weird, like it's like you talk about your coming out stories and it's like you talk about coming out and it's like now I'm just me. Like and everybody's just they know who I am. I don't have to overexert.
And how does that feel for you now? Like, compared to then, being able to be who you are just openly and freely?
I think once I made the decision to come out, like it's been the same ever since. Like I never felt bad about my decision. I never felt bad about who I was. I always just was really proud of who I was. And I wanted to make sure that I was always okay. Like, but I had to be true to myself. And I think that was the biggest thing for me. It was like, you can't pretend to be somebody you're not. Like, it makes you miserable. Like I pretended to like boys and it was so awful because most of my friends were heterosexual. So it was like, it was awful. I hated talking about boys and how cute they were. And it was like the most awkwardest thing in the world. And then, when I started hanging around friends that were out and it just felt natural and good. So
what would you say to anybody out there who is struggling with their coming out to their family or, just in that spot you were in all those years ago?
I say be confident in it when you're ready. Like, do it when you're ready. Don't allow any outside circumstances to peer pressure you into coming out. Don't let anyone else tell you when it's time for you to make the decision to let the world know who you are. It has to be your decision. And I think just holding true to that and really knowing and trusting yourself to know when it's time, just trust yourself. But don't let anyone else tell you when or how or what to do. Make sure it's just strictly coming from you.
That's great advice. Yeah, that's great advice. And to caveat on that, I also believe that it's very important that you don't suppress who you are for the love or the approval of anybody in your life, and that includes family, friends, anybody.
Yeah.
Be true to yourself because you'll be so much happier, so much freer if you're true to yourself.
I agree. So that's my story. So we will move on to G's coming out story.
In the next video.
In the next video. Part 2 of our coming out stories. You guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. And we will see you on the next one.
And don't forget, like and subscribe.
Bam. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. See you next time.